Well, greetings. I'm away in Tokyo after a long period of time not traveling, and I must say it's just wonderful to be back here meeting with so many customers and friends and colleagues and potential partners. It's just been a wonderful few days here at both the AJBCC conference, which is really one of the premier opportunities for Australian and Japanese businesses to come together, but also meeting so many of the other friends and partners that I work with and have the great privilege of working with. I just want to make a few reflections on my time here. The first is that the borders in Tokyo are open. They opened on the 11th of October. I think there's great relief everywhere that that's happened, both in the international community and here in Japan. I mean, COVID has really been difficult for so many people, and mask use here is still significant and always has had a presence, but probably more intense than I think I would say has been in the past. And I think it'll take us a long time, really, to start to come comfortable again after the trauma, really, that COVID caused for the world. Just a few other reflections. I would say bilateral is back. So one thing I've observed at the AJBCC is the great friendship between Japan and Australia and Japanese and Australian companies in wanting to work together, wanting to invest together, wanting to support each other. We've seen this a lot in the formation of the quadrilateral, which involves Japan, Australia, India, and the United States. We've seen the tragedy of Prime Minister Abe's death really bring more Australians and Japanese together. I think we had 4 ex-prime ministers accompany Prime Minister Albanese to Japan for Prime Minister Abe's funeral, which I think was a show of great respect, the level of respect really that we have as Australians for Japan. And I must say also that Prime Minister Kishida will be visiting Perth, I think, in a couple of weeks. And just on the Indian side, it's interesting to see that Foreign Minister Jaishankar was also in Australia this week, seeing Senator Wong and really cementing that Australia-India relationship that's come together. So really, bilateral is back. There is a real sense that together, moving forward, that countries are going to collaborate and work a lot more together in progressing global objectives, but also trade and investment objectives. And I think we've really seen that a lot in my sort of discussions here around several sectors in infrastructure, property, and energy. And energy being the race to this net zero target that most of the developed world has adopted, and the realization now that there will be a substantial investment required if we're going to get there. So I'm really pleased to see the amount of Japanese interest in the Australian market, particularly in the energy sector, realizing that Australia is a safe and secure and excellent investment destination, but also has lofty ambitions that we need to meet, and that together we have the capability of pulling that off. And I think you see that in terms of both the investment side on transmission, a number of big deals happening there on renewables, a number of new renewable development opportunities, and most importantly on hydrogen, which really is seen by so many global governments as a solution to a future baseload power source that will help us transition from fossil fuels to new energy uses in the future. So I just wanted to quickly give some thoughts on what I'm seeing here on the ground. It is just such a wonderful city, Tokyo, a wonderful country, Japan, and the Japanese people here are so welcoming and wonderful to do business with. Just a quick note on the Smartest Cities podcast. Great feedback. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support. We've got Sarah Kay, who's one of the principals at Woods Bagot, coming on. She's a really cool lady, a really interesting lady. And I asked her really a little bit about the business of running a big architecture practice, which I've always found quite fascinating, and I hope we will too. Thanks for the support. Please keep the questions coming in, any recommendations, whatever, I'm always open to feedback. But for now, I hope you're all very well, and take care.